What is an abstraction here? It is a process of hiding implementation details. See the difference here? I can able to create abstract class, but I cannot able to create an object for that class. I'm going to create the object of type AB class with the help of subclass. Hello to all, a warm welcome to my new session on classes, object and method. I'm Revati from the Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram, first grade college, Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. Before going to start my today's session, let me to recall the things what I have discussed in my previous session of this unit. In the last unit, I started with what is single inheritance along with the example. Then I started with overriding method. So what is overriding method here? That means if I consider two or more class that contains same method, same argument as well as same return type. In that concept is called method overriding. Along with that, I covered usage of method overriding as well as what are the rules I need to follow while overriding methods. So these are the topic I have covered in my last session of this unit. So dear student, please make a note here from the examination point of view. Single inheritance with example is very important, as well as overriding method is also very important. Now, in my today's session, at the beginning, I'm going to deal with what is abstract method, what is the need of abstract method, what is abstract class, as well as I'm going to deal with the vectors. So dear student, please make a note here from the examination point of view. Abstract method as well as abstract class as well as vectors are very important question, because you can able to expect this topic for 2 marks as well as for 7 or 8 marks. Now let's begin with the today's topic, that is abstract. So what is abstract? For example, think that I'm going to have only car chassis. Now I'm going to fill remaining part. When I'm having only car outer look, then it is called abstract. Now, abstraction is a process of finding the implementation details and showing only functionalities to the user. Abstraction means what? Hiding. Hide the information from the user and just show the functionality. Now let me to consider a general example here, that most of the users are going to use WhatsApp. Now they can able to use the functionalities of WhatsApp, but they are not able to access as well as view the back-end coding. So this concept is called abstraction. So what is an abstraction here? It is a process of hiding implementation details. It is the process of hiding implementation details and showcase only the functionalities to the user. Now, another way, it shows only essential things to the user and hides the internal details. Even I can able to consider Facebook account or Facebook. So by using Facebook, user can able to use the functionalities of Facebook, but they cannot able to get the internal details. That means how we are going to post the photos or videos and what kind of programming language and how it is going to establish a connection. Everything is hidden from the user. Now, for example, sending SMS where you type the text and send the message. Suppose if I want to send a message, what I'm going to do? I'm going to type the text and send the message. And I'm not going to bother about the internal processing about message delivery. That means I'm not going to bother about how the message is going to deliver and what is the internal processing, how the communications are established between two devices. So I'm not going to bother about all those things. What is my job? Just type the text and send the message. And this is called abstraction. That means provide only basic functionalities to the user and hide rest of the things from the user. Now, abstraction class in Java. That means we can able to achieve abstraction in Java by using keyword abstract. That means Java supports abstract class as well as abstract method. And here abstract keyword is a non-access modifier. If I consider access modifier, I'm going to have public, private as well as protected. Then what about non-access modifier? That's nothing but the abstract, used for classes as well as methods. That means I can able to use abstract keyword with the class as well as with method. So let's see what is abstract class. It is a restricted class. So what is abstract class? It is a restricted class that cannot be used to create object. So what is abstract class? I can able to create abstract class. So dear student, please make a note here. But I cannot able to create an object for abstract class. See the difference here? I can able to create abstract class, but I cannot able to create an object for that class. So to access it, it must be inherited from another class. So first I'm going to create abstract class, and if I want to make use of methods as well as variables which is present in my abstract class, then this abstract class must be inherited with some other class. A class which is declared as abstract is known as abstract class. That means, suppose if I prefix abstract keyword before class, then it is called abstract class, and it can have abstract as well as non-abstract method. That means in my abstract class, I can able to have abstract method as well as non-abstract method, and it needs to be extended and its method implemented. That means here we are going to use inheritance concept, and when it is inheritance, then class must be extended. That means abstract class must be extended to other class, then all the methods must be implemented and it cannot be instantiated. So here for any abstract class, we cannot able to create object. So these are the points you need to remember. Moving further, once again, let me to recall what is abstract class. So here abstract class must include the keyword abstract. So a class in which it is declared as abstract and it is known as abstract class, and all the abstract class may have abstract method or non-abstract method and need to be extended. That means, suppose if I want to make use of abstract class in my other class, in that time I want to inherit the class. When I inherit the class, in that time I'm going to use extends. So when it is inheritance, please remember that it is extends. So the abstract keyword is non-access modifier. If I consider any access modifier, there are example for access modifiers are public, static and protected. And if I consider non-access modifier, then it is abstract, static, etc. It is used for classes as well as methods. Now, abstract class is a restricted class and cannot use to create object. That means I cannot able to create the object for an abstract class. Now, what are the points I want to remember here? That is nothing but rules followed while defining abstract class. So, what is the first rule? An abstract class must be declared with abstract keyword. Now, let me to consider the example here. Think that I'm going to create a class that is abstract sample. Okay, as the first rule, my abstract class must include abstract keyword. Abstract keyword. Then it can have abstract method and abstract, that is non-abstract method. For example, think that this is my class. Here I can able to create abstract method and non-abstract method. Okay, this is the example for abstract method and this is the example for non-abstract method. Now, it cannot be, that means we cannot able to create object, and we can have constructors as well as static methods. That means in my abstract class, I can able to create constructor. So what is constructor here? That is class name same as method name. For example, if I write AB sample, then this is the example for constructor. Now, it cannot have final method, which will force the subclass not to change the body of the method. So what is final? That means when we use final keyword, we cannot able to modify the class as well as methods. But in my abstract class, I'm having abstract method as well as non-abstract method, and where I'm going to implement the code in my subclass, because by using abstract class I can able to inherit the abstract class with some other class. In that time I want to create object as well as I want to modify the methods. But by using final keyword or final method, I cannot able to force the subclass not to change the body of the class. Now I'm going to have abstract methods. Till now what we discussed, it's all about abstract class. Now I'm having abstract method. Can only be used in the abstract class. Dear student, please remember one thing here, that I can able to use abstract method in my abstract class and it does not have a body. So what is abstract here? That is nothing but the outer look, but it does not include any body. That means I'm having car chassis or any vehicle chassis. Now I'm going to design. Okay, so having only chassis, that is called abstraction. So here abstract method does not contains any body. The body is provided by the subclass. So for that reason, I want to inherit all the abstract class in some other class. A method which is declared as abstract that does not have implementation. When I declare any method with the keyword abstract, then that abstract method does not have any implementation or body. Now this is the example. Think that I'm having function name or method name called print status, and I'm going to use the keyword abstract to indicate it is an abstract method, and here I'm going to place the semicolon. This is the example for an abstract method. Now I'm going to have simple program to illustrate abstract class as well as abstract method. So as I discussed, the class must prefix with the keyword abstract to indicate this is abstract class. And what about methods? See here, as I discussed, I'm going to have method declaration. So I'm going to start with the abstract keyword. Okay, this is the example for abstract method. Okay, now here I'm not going to write any body of this function. Now here I'm going to have public class AB method extends AB class. So dear student, as I discussed at the beginning, I'm going to create abstract class and I'm going to treat this one as my parent class or super class. And if I want to make use of all the properties and behavior of this abstract class, then I must want to inherit all the features of parent class to child class. Now tell me which is my child class? Here AB method is my child class, and what about AB class? It is my parent class. Now here I'm going to write the body for run method. Okay, this is my abstract method. It includes only the template. It includes only the template. But in my subclass, I'm going to write the body of the method. Now, this is the abstract method, and here I'm going to implement that method. So, example for abstract class as well as abstract method, and the actual execution of the Java program is going to start from main function. Now, I'm going to create the object. So, dear student, please remember here, first I want to write the abstract class and I'm going to create the object for abstract class with the help of subclass. So, what is my superclass name? That is AB class. And what about AB method? This is my subclass. Okay, now I'm going to create the object of type AB class with the help of subclass. Now I'm going to call the abstract method with the help of object. So dear student, you just want to remember only this much, because the way we are going to create the object is different. And if I consider any previous example, we discussed same class name, here also same class name. But just remember here I'm going to have parent class name and here I'm going to have child class name. This is the only difference I'm going to have in my abstract class as well as abstract method. Now I'm going to have access modifiers in Java. Now what is access modifier? I want to restrict the user. That means I cannot allow all the user to access all the properties as well as all the methods as well as all the classes. That means I want to restrict the program to access methods as well as class. For that, I'm going to have access modifier. There are two types of access modifier, that is access modifier and non-access modifier. That means in modifier, we are having two types, access modifier and non-access modifier. Let's see what is access modifier. So here access modifiers are used to specify the accessibility or scope of variables, methods, constructor as well as class. We can able to change the access level of field, constructor, methods as well as class by applying access modifier. That means I can make certain fields to visible to all the program as well as all the method or all the user. Even I can able to strict. That means I can able to restrict the methods, fields, constructor as well as class by using access modifier. So if I consider access modifier, there are four type of access modifier, and at the beginning I'm going to have private. So what is private? The access level of private modifier is only within the class. For example, if I write variables or methods inside the class and the type of the class is private, then I can able to use class as well as methods or constructor within that class. That means we cannot able to use fields, methods, constructors outside the class. Then I'm going to have second type of modifier, that is default. The default modifier is only within the package. Dear student, user can able to create a package. Anyway, I'm going to deal with what is package in my next session. But in today's session, you just remember that we are going to use default access specifier in package. Now, the access level of a default modifier is only within the package. That means user can able to create their own package and it is called user defined package. In that time, we are going to use default access modifier, and it cannot be accessed from outside the package. And whatever the methods, whatever the class, whatever the constructor, whatever the field we are going to define in the package, that cannot be accessed outside the package. And if you do not specify any access level, by default, it is default access modifier. For example, while creating package, suppose if I forget to include private, public or protected, in that situation, by default, what is the access modifier? It is default. Now, I'm going to have third type of access specifier, that is protected. Now, what is protected? The access level of a protected modifier is within the range and outside the package. Now, the access level of the protected modifier within the package and outside the package. For example, if I use protected keyword in my package, then I can able to access all the methods, constructor, class as well as fields within that package as well as outside of the package. If you do not make the child class, it cannot be accessed from outside the package. That means while creating child class in my package, I want to make that child class as protected. Then I can able to access all the methods, constructors, fields which is present in the child class to the outside of the package. Otherwise, I cannot able to access child class outside the package. Then what is public? This is the fourth type of access modifier. The level, that is access level of a public modifier is anyway. That means I can able to access all the methods, fields, class as well as constructor which is defined as public throughout the class and outside the package or within the package. It can be accessed from within the class, outside the class and within the package and outside the package. So public means what? It is publicly available to all the classes or all the methods or all the constructor within the class or outside the class or within the package or outside the package. There are many non-access specifier. That means till now what we discussed, these are the access modifier. What are the access modifier? Public, private, protected and default. And what is non-access modifier? Example here is static, abstract, synchronized, native, volatile, transient. These are the example for non-access modifier. That means here we are not going to specify the visibility or accessibility of classes, methods, objects as well as constructor. So dear student, in my today's session we started with what is abstract class, what is abstract method. Along with that, I have discussed access modifier, and from the examination point of view, these three are the very important topic. And in my next session, I'm going to deal with Java arrays, type of arrays. Along with that, I'm going to deal with Java string. Now, dear student, let's meet in the next session with some more information about arrays, string as well as vectors. Until then, keep watching and keep studying. Thank you.